So next, a very important topic, that is the resource use efficiency. So this is a topic which we have been discussing from the morning. That is the resource use efficiency. Resource use efficiency. So here the resources are nothing but inputs. Simple here, inputs. So by using inputs only we can produce the output. So by producing output, so where we can get more efficiency, more efficient. Simple here, see the meaning resource use efficiency. The resource use efficiency in agriculture is defined to include the concepts of technological efficiency, allocative efficiency, and environmental efficiency. Environmental efficiency. So this is a very important topic which we can study. See here the efficiency. Here resource use efficiency. So here, when we are discussing about efficiency, it is basically there are three types of efficiencies are there. Then only we will call efficiency. What are those? First one is the economic efficiency. So technological efficiency. Second one is the allocative efficiency. Third one, environmental efficiency. Sometimes when these are called, when these two are there, we can call economic efficiency. Technological, allocative, and distribution efficiency also there. We can discuss now the technological efficiency, allocative efficiency, environmental efficiency. See here, so as per Huck only, as he written some article in 2006. So as per him, so there are three concepts we should have to learn. Then only we will come to know that how we can get resource use efficiency. That is a technological efficiency, allocative efficiency, and environmental efficiency. What is meant by technological efficiency? What is meant by technological efficiency? For example, as we know, general meaning, the technological efficient means when we are producing goods and services. When you are producing goods, so we should have to use a technology. For example, as I told you that when you are producing a paddy, so we should have to use when we are cultivating the vegetables or fruits. Okay, so we should have to use the technology to spread the water. That is called drip irrigation or sprinklers. So that is a technology. Which kind of technology we are using to produce the crop? Have you understood? Technological efficiency. So earlier we didn't use the technology. Am I right or wrong? Earlier, if you take it, we not operate the bore also. For example, manually the farmer has to go and they need to operate it on off. Nowadays we are using the technology, that is a on and off. Through mobile only we can off the bore and switch on the bore. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Right. So in order to produce a more output, so we need to use a more technology. For example, to harvest. For example, earlier the farmers manually they need to harvest. Nowadays there are so many techniques, so many harvesting machines are there. For example, here paddy. In order to harvest the paddy, there are harvesting machines are there. In order to cut the crop, at a time only you will get output. Earlier, manually the farmers, the laborers have to cut the paddy and they need to harvest it. It will take more time also. Nowadays, we are using machines. Direct, for example, if you take maize also, directly we can cut that maize and we will get the output directly. Right? So there are so many technologies are there at present. So we need to use this kind of harvesting to procure and nothing but to produce more and more. Earlier, see, when we are using manual, nothing but traditional method, so we got some loss, right? Nowadays, when we are using the technology, harvesting or maize, so we will get more output. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is called when you're using the technology only, so the technology efficiency we will estimate. So then allocative efficiency. What is meant by allocative efficiency? For example, when we have the land, how much we are allocating the resources? How much we are allocating the resources? For example, here this is a 1 acre of land. It needs seeds, okay, in order to produce fertilizers, pesticides, labors. So these are the some inputs to produce the output. For example, right? For example, see for the 1 acre, if you put only 2 bags of seeds, whether if you take cotton or something, okay. So you mean to put how much you are allocating to the crop? How much you are allocating the fertilizer to the 1 acre of land? Then how much you are spreading the chemicals, that is called pesticides. Give some mandulu antaru kada, mandulu. So that's the pesticides. How much you are allocating? So how many labors you are allocating to remove the some wastages? Nothing but kalupu తీయడానికి మన labors allocate చేస్తాం. For example, right? So here, when you are how much you are allocating the labors, how much you are allocating the pesticides, fertilizers, seeds, etc. On the base of this allocation only, the output is depends, right? So the output is depends on the how much you are allocated seeds, how much you are allocated fertilizers, how much you are allocated pesticides, how much labor you are allocated, right? So when you are allocated properly, you will get more output. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Right? So these are the allocative factors. Nothing but we should have to take care how much seeds it requires. We need to give. Instead of, for example, 1 acre needs 3 bags. Only if you put 2 bags, the output may decreases. Am I right or wrong? When you want, for example, the fertilizer, 1 acre fertilizer needs 3 bags. If you put only 2 bags, the output reduces. Pesticides, for example, if 1 liter of pesticides, chemicals, so it requires 1 liter. But if you use only 1/2 liters, labors, they need 30 labors. But if you provide only 10 labors, so in order to remove the wastages, if you provide 10 labors, automatically the grass, nothing but the wastage grass has been grown, then it can affect on the output. So therefore, the output will be reduced when we are not allocating properly. When we are allocating properly, so we will get more output, more output. Yes, have you observed? Have you understood, please? I think
Yes,
those
sir.
who are from agriculture background, they may understand easily. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. See here, for example, best example, if you take 1 kg of chicken when you are preparing, right? I think chicken or mutton. So how much it requires oil, how much it requires paste, some alum paste or something, how much it requires onions, right? For example, in order to cook the chicken, so how much it requires? When you put properly, how much it requires? Only 1 kg masala or something. Okay. So if you put that, the chicken will be good. Nothing but the taste will be good. So when you put less oil, less alum paste or less onions or less masala, so will you get nothing but tasty chicken? Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
So you can't get tasty chicken. So therefore, how much it requires, how much the crop requires, that much you need to allocate it. The environmental efficiency. For example, see the environmental economy, nothing but the land should be fertile land. The land should be fertile land, fertile, and it should be as some climate condition, soil and climate condition. The land should have to have the good climate conditions. Then only we will get the good output. Environmental. For example, so the land, for example, see, for example, మీకు ఎప్పుడైనా వర్షాలు వచ్చినప్పుడు ల్యాండ్ లో ఇక్కడ సారవంతమైన వెళ్ళిపోతుంది చూడండి. ఎప్పుడైతే కాలువలు వర్షం వచ్చి భూమి అనేది కొట్టుకోబోతుంటే, సో ఇక్కడ ఒక ల్యాండ్ యొక్క డిగ్రేడేషన్ అనేది పోతుంటుంది. దాని యొక్క సాంద్రత అనేది వేరే ల్యాండ్కి వెళ్ళిపోతుంటుంది. ఓకే.
Yes, sir.
ఓకే. సో కాలువలు అనేది వర్షాలు ఎక్కువ వస్తే కాలువల ద్వారా అంటే ఇప్పుడు మామూలుగా మన వర్షం మన భూమి అనేది ఆ వాటర్ ఎక్కువ అయిన తర్వాత ఏంటంటే మన భూమిలో ఉన్న సారవంతమైనది మొత్తము మన భూమి నుంచి వేరే వాళ్ళ నుంచి అట్లా వెళ్ళిపోతుంటారు. Environmental efficiency you should have to get. We will learn here. See, public investment in that efficiency, public investment, nothing but see here the government also, how much the government can spend some amount of money to increase the output of crops, subsidies, trade for the agriculture. See, for example, how much the government investment. I think, for example, if you take Raitu Bandhu scheme, how much subsidies is there? For example, fertilizer subsidy, pesticide subsidies, for example, technology, machines, drip irrigation subsidies, sprinkler subsidies, for example, tractor subsidies. This comes under the subsidies for the agriculture sectors. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And credit for the agriculture, nothing but credit. How much the government is giving some credit facilities to the farmers that are used in an efficient manner. Nothing but whatever the government has provided, that is the right upon the scheme, subsidies and credit. So we should have to use these kind of things in a efficient manner. Then only we will get output. For example, whatever the right upon the scheme is we are getting, if you are taking that money and you are using for the drinking purpose, alcohol purpose, so you can't get it more output in the agriculture sector. Am I right or wrong? Right? So when you're taking money, nothing but a loan from the banks, if you are using for that your daughter or any son's marriages, so you can't get an efficient production, because whatever you are taking, nothing but whatever the trade has taken, what purpose you have taken, so you are not using that purpose. You are diversifying the credit to the other purpose. So therefore, you cannot get an efficient production. So there are large scale inter-regional as well as inter-farm variation. For example, here see, even when they are using this kind of credit subsidies and public investment, so there is a large scale inter-regional and inter-farm variations in factor productivity. So due to the varying influence, different factors of different regions. For example, within the Telangana, so we have that east, west, south, north, right? So we have the south, east, west, north in Telangana, for example. So the government giving subsidies and to the all the state same, and but whatever they are giving south area, if they are not getting more output, if they will get in west area, they may get more output. For example, here there is a inter-regional variation, nothing but the crop to crop. For example, if you taking upon paddy, for example, Nalgonda people, those who are living in Suryapet or Kodada, we can produce more output compared with the other areas. For example, if you take Medak or Rangareddy, so here we can produce more and more paddy, right? For example, I'm assuming that there is Suryapet or Rangareddy or Vikarabad, for example. Right? So this kind of variation we can get it. That is called regional variation. Regional variation. And number of management factors such as timeline, method of sowing. For example, see, at the same time, the output is depends on what? Management. Management. It means that at what time you are sowing the seeds. For example, nowadays this is a June, which is ready to sowing the seeds, right? So for example, some people they may sowing the seeds in between 10 to 15 June. For example, other farmers they may put around July 1st. So the output is depends on at what time you are sowing the seeds. For example, recently see, most of the paddy has been affected by rainfalls. Why? Those who have sown earlier and their harvesting time is earlier, right? Those who are sowing the seeds late, so they will get out harvesting time is very late, right? Have you understood that? హలో, మనం పంటలు ఎప్పుడు వేస్తాము? ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు జూన్ 10 to 15 days లో వేసినాం అనుకో, 15 to 10 days డేట్ల మధ్యలో. సో క్రాప్ అనేది ముందుకు వస్తుంది, హార్వెస్టింగ్ అనేది తొందర వస్తుంది. మరి ఎప్పుడో జూలైలో వేసినాము, జూలై 1st week, జూలై 1 to 10 days వేసినాం అనుకో, 1 to 10 మధ్యలో. సో ఈ క్రాప్ అనేది దాదాపు 20-25 days లేట్గా వస్తుంది మనం, రైట్? సో దేర్ ఫోర్ here when you are sowing the seeds in time, so we will get more output, because the climatical condition will be helpful to us. Where we can say sow the seeds late, so we can't get more output also. Okay, so here the number of management factors such as timeline, the method of sowing, how we are sowing the method. For example, nowadays manually we can sow the seeds. For example, if you take cotton, maize, nowadays we are using the tractors also. Earlier we have used the man, not labor. Manually we can use. Nowadays we are using tractors in order to sowing the seeds. Am I right or wrong? Hello? Hello?
Sir.
Yeah, transplantation, irrigation, and application of right doses. For example, see, sometimes the farmers they are interested to get more output. At the time, they can use more dose, nothing but fertilizer అనేది ఎక్కువ వేస్తుంటారు. ఒక్కసారి వేసేది 2 సార్లు వేసేది ఒకటేసారి ఎక్కువ వేస్తుంటారు. సో అలాంటి అయినప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ద క్రాప్ మే నథింగ్ బట్ ద ప్లాంట్ మే ఆర్ ట్రీ మే గెట్ సమ్ డిసీజెస్. Okay, so the application of right dose of input and the input mix play an important role in influencing the interform variation in the crop productivity. For example, see, when you use more dose, what will happen? Sometimes if it requires more, it will take into account. If it is not required, so the crop may damage. For example, మనం ఎక్కువ కానీ ఫెర్టిలైజర్ కానీ పెస్టిసైడ్స్, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ గడ్డి మందు ఉంటాయి. సో గడ్డి మందు ఎక్కువ వచ్చిన మనకు ఆటోమేటిక్గా ఉన్న పంటకి ఇట్లా నాశనం అయిపోతుంది. Okay, so there is a right application of doses. How much it requires, how much we are using.